Recording. 3, 2, 1. And welcome to episode 65 of Dear Reading. Dear Reading is a platform to take back the narrative of our streets. Because, some people don't get it right. Other platforms might not be getting it right. But Dear Reading, we try to do our best to get that shit right. No shade, no tea. But welcome back if it's your first time here. My name is Marquise, Keese, This American Negro, 1/4 of Dear Reading. That part. We also are joined by the wordsmith, D. Will, travel vlogger and model, Marie, Miss blogger and activist, Miss Bree.
Hey, y'all.
That's it. Wow. Seems so enthusiastic.
What do you want from me? I've been up since 5 a.m.
And I've been up since 6:45. So we're out here. We're winning. All right? Look at that. Early and productive days. All right. Real quick. If you want to support this here podcast, you can join us on patreon.com/dearreading. That's patreon.com/dearrdg. If you want to do a monetary commitment to the podcast, there you will find more exclusive content as we get more of that robust shit built out. But you can support us for as little as $2 a month, which is $24 a year. Or if, because we're in the time of Rona, you can't support this podcast, you can also support us in non-monetary ways. These are also important. So if you listen to us on Apple Podcasts, you can leave us a 5-star and review if you would like to. Please let us know how you're enjoying that. Leave comments on our SoundCloud. Make sure you like and subscribe to our podcast. Make sure you also teach your aunties and your uncles how to use the podcast, because some of them asses don't know what a podcast is. It's a radio, but with no laws behind it. So we out here. Yeah, that's all the administrative stuff. Other than that, welcome to another episode of Dear Reading. Thank you if you're new. Thank you for joining us. We're pretty dope. Some dope black people. But first things first, how's everybody's week?
I can't stand you. So my week was pretty good. Yeah, I can't think of anything that would make me say I had a bad week. I didn't really do anything. It's been very mundane. How about you?
Mundane?
Nigga, you know I didn't go finish college.
I just like when you remix words.
Remixing is great.
I don't have to take this, okay? Mundane, mundane, whatever.
I'm crying.
Oh, snap.
Oh shit. Anybody else?
Yeah. My week was chilling. Just a normal week. I started working out again, actually. My brother, he got dumbbells and some plates in his room and shit. So I literally be when I'm at work, if nobody's chatting in or calling in, I just be hitting the curls and hitting the triceps and whatnot. But I also bought a jump rope, and I was testing it out just to see how long it was. Pause. And I was at my mom's house, and I knocked her fire alarm piece off. So yeah, that was my week.
I'm crying. Marie, how are you doing?
Oh God. My week was a little tragic. I wasn't tragic, but it was I had a dramatic week. My work week was horrible. It was the worst week I've ever experienced. I had to deal with KKK members and
that. I saw that.
At
it was
work?
Yeah, he came in for surgery or whatever, and he had Confederate flag tags on his hand. And then I went to go help him do something, and he had a whole KKK hooded member tatted right on his chest. And the first thing he tells me, he was like, "I was young and dumb." And I was like, "Did you say that to the white nurse that's right next to me?" And he was like, "No, why would I have to?" I'm like, "Exactly. So you knew you wasn't young and dumb, and you had the Confederate flag tag, and it was fresh ink." I was like, "That's fresh." And he was just like, "Yeah, I just don't want you to feel uncomfortable." I'm like, "Well, sir, I was completely over it, because I was coming in at 6 a.m. and I was tired. So I was like, you know what? You should die." And I just
how do you handle that? Sir, I know you don't like black people. Why do I have to treat you?
Yeah, the nurse this and this for me, and I'm like, no, he doesn't like black people. What don't you understand about it? Do it yourself.
Seriously,
that's not my problem.
It's no longer in my hands anymore.
He
do it.
probably killed an ancestor. I'm not fucking with him.
Okay,
Sorry.
listen, you see my skin color, and then like the white nurses, the security was jumping out their white privilege and stuff like that. Most of them are fucking Republicans, and it's like a little cult. Like I just like noticed like sitting there talking to them during like lunch, not even talking to them. I was just like over like hearing, eavesdropping in their stuff, and they're like, you know what? This is the way that like the government's trying to like control the population with the coronavirus. They're like, I've just been having parties because you know what the fuck. Like they would be protesting if they could right now. Like I swear I worked there. It's a cult. It's a whole cult. And I was like, yeah, no, it was the worst work week. And I call them white bimbos because I cannot like, and then like I ended up just giving like a leave of absence because I was like, I'm going to go crazy here because they don't understand how it is to be a minority. I'm the only Black woman in my entire department, including all OR staff, surgeons, everywhere. Like the only person of color everywhere. Like not one in sight besides me.
Not even like a TV Italian, like Hispanic?
No.
TV.
J-Lo's a TV Italian, if you need a reference.
She a thief.
I could ask my manager, I was like, did you like sprinkle me in like a little razzle dazzle to mix up some diversity?
Kind of like what y'all guys did to me.
Bitch, shut up.
So confused. What was going on? It was tragic. Bye.
Oh shit. Well, I'm glad you have your leave of absence. Like D Will was just we were just talking before we started recording. Like, ain't nothing. No job is worth your mental health for real. For real.
Not at all. Not at all.
And
I was like, I'm gonna take a leave of absence so I can claim unemployment because if you quit, you can't claim unemployment.
Yeah.
I was like, if I take this leave of absence, I can still get some money and without actually having to work, you know?
I'm here for that.
Well, there's always OnlyFans.
Honestly and truly, Marie, that's where you should be housing your content.
I'm gonna be
these niggas pay.
I'm gonna be honest. I tried to sign up. I tried to do it like anonymous with a different name, and then they needed a picture of your ID and shit. And then my profile got denied. But I think I'm gonna take that step because I'm tired of my job.
Oh, I see. That's why you're working out. Oh, you gotta.
I got my tripod and everything. Like,
do what you need to do, man. Get your coin. I support you.
Look, man.
I don't support you. I just want you to know.
As long as you share my link, that's cool.
That's
somebody
that
on your timeline.
Well, we're not sharing it.
Just
That's not gonna. Sorry.
I support OnlyFans. It does better than.
I do too.
It's more ethical than Pornhub. It's more ethical than all these other Johns that be taking people's money.
Yeah. I personally
don't get paid shit.
I don't. I'm not against. I'm not against OnlyFans. But have you tried? Never mind. Skip me.
Intellectual media is somebody who has an OnlyFans who gives you quality fucking content. And I'm learning from her every day. Like she gives me dope ass Black History.
And
she shows titties every once in a while. But
yeah, I was gonna say that's not where I'm going with it. I ain't gonna be dropping poems and shit on it. I'm gonna be, out there.
I support that. Do what you need to do.
I know I have three women that I personally know that have OnlyFans, and like two of them talk to me about it. Like, yo, I'm thinking about doing an OnlyFans. And I'm like, yo, do it. They were like, oh, well, you know how people out here are. I'm like, so? I'm like, get your coins. Like, so what? Get your coins. Right. Like, I'm like, I'm not paying for it, but get your coins. Like,
I support your work. I support all sex work. So do what you need to do.
You're bugging.
I just feel like you wouldn't be that. I mean,
you can't be on the camera.
Maybe
or everybody else with that camera. Go ahead, girl. Do your thing.
Do you need a manager?
They have those.
Nah,
they have those.
One of them has like a whole contract with a whole group, and I'm like, God dang,
bro, I can send you a whole link. There was like a whole like panel on like how to utilize OnlyFans. And like how to make content on OnlyFans, and like there's a whole sales funnel behind it. There's like people who can manage the different content creators on OnlyFans. They get like a very small cut, but for the most part, they're just like, oh, you make sure you're posted Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and you're good.
You know what?
Look, take artist
like an Instagram influencer and like OnlyFans.
Like that's
what you just say. I didn't.
So D Will's gonna have his poetry on OnlyFans.
I mean, not just his poetry.
Yeah. Well, I could do separate categories,
Look, people pay mad money for workout
Yo.
videos. Like, if you just
Yo.
work out
See,
in
well,
your
I wouldn't
boxers,
pay you a
people are just
dime.
like,
I wouldn't pay you a dime. I would not pay him a dime. Not a cent.
I
you
mean,
don't have to tell anybody. You can just, like, if
That's
you want to
fine.
invest in your friend,
That's
like,
fine.
that's it.
One of your cousins or friends will.
Nigga,
They probably in my DMs already anyway, so.
where's the lie at? Where's the lie? Never mind. You do whatever you got to do. Okay? I'm not mad. Just, you make the money. Don't let the money make you.
Oh, shit.
That's a fact.
I mean, you know what? Get it how you live it. Men are into weird shit, like foot fetishes and shit like that. You don't even enjoy much.
You know what's crazy? Like, I just recently, like, over the past 2 or 3 years, women are just as disgusting as men with their fetishes. Like,
there are some things out there. If you ever listen to the Horrible Decisions podcast, you'll find every single fetish that men are into, and it's crazy.
And what's crazy, I really went like so many years believing that only men, like, that only. What are you doing?
I don't know if something just like
with the rock with it. I don't know what.
I just feel like something like fell, or I think my neighbor might have fell.
Oh shit!
Well, good they did see it.
Yeah, they'll be okay.
Like a ghost in there.
Oh, okay.
But
Can we move on to?
Yeah.
Besides D-Will's
Because I was about to get
jobs.
into how much women like particular videos, but let's just keep it PG-13. Go ahead.
Dear Reading After Dark. Look, the wheels are turning in Marquise's head.
Look,
wheels are turning.
Y'all know I support sex work. I don't care. I tell y'all all the time. I tell the timeline. But yeah, I mean, other than that, back to how our weeks were.
Yes.
My week was pretty shitty. Yeah.
That's why.
Huh?
You were dying.
I mean, that was yesterday. Yesterday was literally shitty. Like, I pooped 4 times in less than 2 hours. Niggas was dehydrated.
That was a cleanse.
You're shit.
That's a cleanse.
It was trash because I was just like, you know what? But it was also my body forcing me to slow down because I definitely tried to work through like a mini panic attack because I had too much work to do on like between Tuesday and Thursday. I was just like back to back to back to back to back to back. And then I sit there and was just like, I can't get all of this done. I can't efficiently get this done. I completely forgot that I had to present in a meeting like for 15 minutes and was just like, I am not prepared with anything. And I said, I'm sorry. I had a video that I had to edit. I had these presentations I had to get done. I had to present a program I'm about to launch. And I was just like, and I just sat there and was just like, I feel brain dead right now. Like I can't actually, analysis paralysis was real. Like I could not get anything done. And I was just like, let me keep working through it. But I was like, I can't even think to do anything. I just wanted to like, just, so my body like forced me, because I definitely had like a 2-hour meeting yesterday that I was supposed to do.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm laughing with
pain?
you. I'm not laughing at you. I promise. I'm laughing with you.
He wasn't laughing now.
This isn't a joking matter. Was I laughing?
Did you not?
She was the only one laughing.
Brie.
Oh, sorry. I just thought because you said your body, and I just remember I caught a flashback because I'm sorry. What's her name? Tiana, or Creative Tiana Poet Poetry. And she was going on about how she was the build up to when you first announced
absolutely because niggas was struggling, and you know what? When I'm sick, it's the end of the fucking world. Okay,
that's for all men.
I know. I can't see. I can't do this.
You're ridiculous.
It really be like that though. It be like that.
Can you
help me, please? Help me.
I'm falling and I can't get up.
Oh my gosh.
I'm trying. But yeah, so I mean, I'm in a much better space now. I forced myself to relax all day yesterday. So all I did was I only watched Netflix. I read, I listened to music. Niggas got a new speaker, so I've been annoying Amanda with the new speaker.
I seen Amanda tweet about you.
You tweeted about me?
Yeah. She said something about who gave this nigga a speaker.
I just want to have a talk. I just want to have a talk.
Not her tweeting about it. She didn't even at me, did she?
I don't think so.
Oh my.
Marquise?
You should have heard me trying to sing my heart out earlier to
Oh
Whitney
my
Houston.
God.
I know.
Wait, what song?
It was I Have Nothing.
Oh,
That's
that
really,
was
Fair.
really
that was
my
me in the
song.
supply closet. It's
Yep.
okay.
You're supposed to sing, so yeah, on a Sunday. I'm not mad at this.
Look, see,
No.
we're out here.
You
I
can't
play Jamaican music all day. Yeah.
I'm crying.
Say that again?
I said he can't kill Amanda twice with the singing in the speaker. Like, just fuck her.
Poor Amanda. Poor Amanda.
I tried to justify it because I was like, oh, she can't hear it too bad. It's like in my room, which is at the end of the apartment, and her room at the front of the apartment. But no, that shit's so loud. These walls are thin as fuck.
Okay.
But we out here. Anyways, that was our week. I'm glad we got through that. It's nice to see everybody's face. Do we have any church announcements? I figure we put this in the front instead of the end, so that way, if people had anything to tell people to look out for, this is the time to do it. Nothing on anybody? Neither do I. We out here. Bull! But I did get invited to a Black Women Educator Alliance conference in November to speak. So that's pretty lit. But that's
what's up.
Much further down the line. Other than that, we're going to get right into the Giving Roses segment. So this is where we give roses to anybody that we think did something dope throughout the week, or we just want to, let them know while they're still here. Anybody got any roses to give out?
I want to give my roses to that fashion company. I don't know how to pronounce
Hanifa. It's Hanifa. I say Hanifa, but I would ask Fadiva. She's probably better on the dialect.
You do be remixing, so I don't know. But anyways, their virtual fashion show, that shit was fucking amazing.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That was dope. And she said she was working on it for 7 months. So she was already doing this before even COVID hit, which is pretty dope.
That and that versus battle yesterday was fucking amazing.
Yo!
clearest internet in the fucking world, I'll tell you.
For real, yo.
Of all places, though, I just thought that was interesting. But let's go back to the sorry. Before I get my roses, I gotta talk about the collection. Like, oh my god, it's so pretty. I think it's Hanifa, but the collection is like amazing. Sorry. I guess I'm supposed to go next. Damn, Marie, you got two right off. Okay. Who would I give my roses to? I'm gonna give my roses to our listeners because they stuck with us through COVID, through all the crap that's going on from Doja to the Lana Del Rey girl. So yeah, I'm gonna give her roses to our listeners because I just think that they're really dope.
You do have pretty dope fucking listeners.
Hold on. I'll give my roses to I don't know.
It's okay. If you don't got anybody,
I don't know.
That's fine.
Yeah, not this week.
What?
Huh?
I thought Bree said something. Was it just a bunch of oops? I'm crying. And I am going to give my roses to my boy Miles because he definitely talked me through some stuff this week, which I needed, which was super, super nice. And yeah, just shout out to our friends who really just be out there. It's just simple. So yeah, thanks for those. Cool. And if that is all for
Wait. Is Miles the one that everyone says look like Trey Songz?
He looks like Lawrence from Insecure.
I'll pass. Never mind.
He's the pretty nigga friend that I have.
Was he the other fine one in your graduation pic?
Yeah, so not Rob, but Miles.
Because Got some fine friends, Marquise. Some
You're welcome.
fine friends.
Shoot your
Most of them are
Fine
single.
ass.
Like,
You hear it. Go
I'm
shoot your
just sorry.
shot.
shoot
Go
your
shoot your
shot.
shot.
I'm shooting threes right now.
Wait, he has a little boo. We already talked about this last time.
Hey, Bree got a little non-black bay.
No,
Huh?
it
A little
was
what?
Puerto Rican bay.
Puerto
No.
Rican bag.
Yeah.
Sorry. I had to throw him back in the water.
He
You got what you wanted out of him?
Huh? No. Maybe. I don't know. I feel like Issa right now, like with this whole dating thing. Is Issa dating someone? Right
In
now?
real life
No?
or on the show?
On the show.
On the show? No,
Mhm.
she's single right now.
Oh yeah, so I'm definitely in my Issa bag.
I mean, that's fine. As long as you find your purpose. Get us a black.
Next topic.
Okay, so, and we're walking into Word on the Street. So if you're new here, Word on the Street is the segment where we go off about some things that are happening in the news, what we see just in the conversation on Twitter in general, but this is essentially our little pop culture segment that we do. So this one is definitely more of a free-for-all because I did not go through that much news this week. I was not in it at all. But here's some of the bullshit that we saw throughout the week because it was another week in Anti-Blackness.
It's Gemini season, ain't it?
Yes, exactly why.
You see all this chaos happening and
Gemini
shit.
season is fucking shit up.
Well, don't blame Gemini season.
It is definitely Gemini
It is
season.
definitely fucking Gemini season.
Wow, that's how you feel? That's how you guys feel?
Girl,
Yep.
you're not a Gemini. Don't take it serious. Don't take it personal.
I mean, all the Geminis I like, I feel like Geminis get a bad rep. They're like the misunderstood people of the zodiac. I don't really know why people don't like. Lindsay has said like I don't dig why people don't like the Geminis. I think they're huh?
Has you not seen what has happened since it's been Gemini season?
And it's only been like 2 days.
That's just COVID. That's just COVID.
It done turned up a notch. It got extra spicy.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly and true.
Mm.
Like, let's
I
talk about
gotta agree on that.
let's talk about some bullshit from the top of the week though. Let's talk about Lana Del Rey, Lana Del Karen, Lana Del Racist throwing black women under the bus. How are we feeling about that, y'all?
What did she say? Because I kind of skipped over it, and
Bruh.
like I seen people talking about her, and I'm not gonna give a fuck about her, so I didn't read it. Then like 2-3 days later, I'm seeing, oh, she's racist and shit, and I'm like, fuck. So I try to search it up, and I couldn't find what exactly she said.
Basically, she went on a rant. She woke up and in Times New Roman typed out, oh, Doja Cat, Beyonce, Megan Thee Stallion. She might have, I don't think she named Megan. She named Nicki, but I feel like she wanted to put Megan because she knows who's at the top. But basically, she was like, oh, she named all these black singers, rappers, celebrities.
Okay, and she also did the white women of color. Okay, Ariana Grande.
Oh,
We know where Ariana. Nah, fuck out of here. We know where her heart lies. Stop playing.
She said it's equal opportunity for you niggas.
I don't even count that. Now, if she would have said, like, and that's what pissed me off. Like, none of those people that I just named are in the same lane as Lana Del Rey.
Lana Del Rey.
Lana Del Rey.
That part.
Because it just feels like, she shot at, they say shoot at the stars, you'll land. Shoot at the moon, you'll land at the stars or something like that. And so I understand why someone would want to reach that high. But baby girl, that's not you. That wasn't for you. Like, that's why I feel like people really need to stick to the rivers and the lakes that they belong in, because it doesn't make sense for her to compare herself to Beyonce.
See,
or Nicki Minaj.
I will read this for the listeners. I'll just read the first paragraph. Question for the culture. Lana Del Rey starts. Let's also note she is not part of the culture.
Yes,
now
she is.
that
ASAP Rocky made her part of the culture.
Just because you have a nigga in you does not mean you're part of the culture.
Say that again.
Just because you got a nigga in you does not mean you're part of the culture. Just remember that.
For all the white women who say nigga because they fucking black people.
And you know they all got the same haircut.
And the Hispanics. Let's not forget them either.
Mm-hmm. Now that Doja Cat, back to the letter, Ariana, Camilla, Cardi B, Kehlani, and Nicki Minaj and Beyonce have had #1 songs about being sexy, wearing no clothes, fucking, cheating, etc. Can I go back to being in love even if the relationship is not perfect, or dancing for money, or whatever I want, without being crucified or saying that I am glamorizing abuse? I'm fed up with female writers and alt singers saying that I need to glamorize abuse when in reality, I'm just a glamorous person singing about the realities of what we are all seeing, very prevalent emotionally abusive relationships all over the world.
I just want to know, what did this do for her? Like, I want to know, what did she get out of it, really?
I just want to know, is it crack?
It's definitely crack that she smokes. Has to be. Sorry.
I was reading that type right, and I wasn't reading that. What's it? I skipped right over that. I was like, Lana Del Rey.
That's where it stopped when she said for the culture. Says what?
Part of the culture.
What culture? Yeah.
The vulture culture. The vulture culture.
Okay.
It's because we need to stop trying to allow these white people and just say, "Oh, you're invited to the cookout." They do one little thing. No, you're not. You're never going to be. Period.
No, that's a fact. I was scrolling by something on Twitter, and I like briefly read some. So it was a long thing, and they were like, we have to be better gatekeepers for our culture. We want to include everybody, because we're so forgiving, and every time we tend to include people, it like bites us in the ass. And that's a fucking fact. That's a fact.
No, I wholeheartedly agree with that. That's why I was saying, like, I'm tired of us like being so nice to all these mediocre ass non-blacks. Like, I'm actually just tired of it. Like, this is why, like, I will forever and always tell people, like, anytime we're throwing an event, this is black people first, and then if you just happen to be there, awesome.
Yeah.
But for the most part, you try some anti-black stuff, goodbye. This event wasn't for you anyways. Like.
And it shows how black spaces are important, honestly. Like, everything that this year has been, like, so anti-black, but, like, that, like, my job just reminded me, I'm like, damn, I need to be working with black people. Like, I want to feel welcome, because I was like, yo, this shit is whack. It shows you that representation matters, like, period.
And it even goes just beyond, like, people coming into it or trying to get into the backyard to get into the cookout. Like, we can even just talk about TikTok. Like, right now, most black TikTokers are, like, putting a black power fist up or putting their profile picture as black because they keep segmenting away. I think you talked about it before, Marie.
Yeah.
But now they're, like, actively just letting TikTok know, if you don't have your shit together by Juneteenth, then black TikTokers will be taking their content elsewhere. But they're really, like, not showcasing any, like, they're really not showing black content creators, like, in their algorithm at all. So though we make the most popular of TikToks, it's the white ones who.
That's why I like Vine better anyway.
That's a fact.
Vine, bitch. I like deleted the app and everything. Because if you're gonna cancel something, you need to cancel. You can just like cancel TikTok and then keep supporting it.
Right.
Same thing with the Doja Cat shit. You can't be like, oh, she's canceled, and then be like, oh, do we forgive her? Do we still listen to her music? Nah, if you're canceled, you need to cancel them.
That's a fact, which is a great segue into Doja Cat's Anti-Blackness. Does anybody know, like, the full story on this, John? Because this was one story I did not want to engage in because I felt like it was so much happening at one time. She was in a chat with a bunch of white supremacists. Is that right?
Pretty much. I don't know the full story, but I seen the video, and it was kind of like a Zoom meeting, and she's like sexually teasing them and shit, like, you know, smacking her ass and doing all that shit, like some OnlyFans shit. And then, you know, they're talking or whatever. I didn't pay attention really what they said. And she says like, fuck me, nigga, or something like that. And I'm like, what? I fucked with you. I really fucked with you. I don't know if there's more to the story, but like I rewinded the video, and then just to see, no, she ain't say that. No, she said that shit. And then my big thing about it is I go on Twitter, and the non-blacks who always speak on black issues were trying to defend it like, well, she's just trying to make money. She's trying to. No, like, no, you don't do no shit like that.
6 days ago? How was he trying to make money? She was on that post. She was on that video chat 6 days ago. So it's no longer about her circumstances. What I keep seeing, and what befuddles me, is how people keep trying to make excuses for her. It's like, oh well, she was raised by her white mom, so she doesn't know any better. Her black dad abandoned her. She doesn't know any better. And I saw someone on Twitter, I wish I could give him the credit for it, basically saying, like, you have Colin, sorry, I work in health insurance. You have people like Colin Kaepernick, who was adopted by a white family, and he's not anti-black. You have so many people who Halle Berry. There's literally too many biracial people out there who support black people with their whole chest, who aren't anti-black, for you to go, oh well, Doja Cat, didn't know any better. And even if that's the case, like, we live now on social media where she had more than enough time to come up with an apology. Lana Del Rey has made like 3 posts since her initial one. So
but the one she definitely tried to double down on, and so I'm also not forgetting that. She definitely doubled down on her little white feminism. And
she got those fingers to click it. That's all I'm saying. Where is Doja now? Doja is she's known for her outspokenness.
One was just like, well, Lana Del Rey wasn't talking to me because I'm not black, and blah blah blah. She basically just like didn't even count herself. Like, it was just
So another thing was the song. Did y'all hear about that song that was supposedly mocking like Sandra Bland?
So, I did.
It's called "Didn't Do Nothing." So I just like pulled up the lyrics. So, and that's a term that people use to mock black people who commit crimes, apparently. But
I learned that again. I was like, what the fuck? I didn't know that a dindu was a thing.
Yeah. How much money could a dindu make if a dindu did all the things that you wish to? I'm like, okay, nah, fuck that. Fuck the hook. Here's the verse. I'm a degenerate, smoke all your cannabis, you cannot handle it, wave your appendages, tweeting an Instagram camera flick, bitch you was edited, swear you'll remember this, swear you'll be cameraless, fuck taking pictures, what's wrong with the vibe, might as well dead this shit, I feel alive. I'm trying to find the fucking shit where it's like clearly making fun of Sandra Bland, because that's what made me really interested. But she's like, how much nothing can a dindu do if a dindu didn't do nothing? How much money could a dindu make if a dindu did all the things you wish to? And that's a term that is like making fun of black people who commit crimes. I'm like, well, the fuck? Like, that's just really weird to me. Like, you really can't defend that.
And it doesn't help that she's also like, she's like the very racially ambiguous kind of black too.
Very. You could have just said light skin. You could have just said
nah. She racially ambiguous. But that's the thing that'd be killing me, because I'm just like, even I think Ebro tried to defend her earlier, and the one dude Kosi, shout out to Kosi for like calling him out and checking him. But it's just like, we tend to keep making excuses for people's anti-blackness, and essentially Ebro was like, well, why don't we, instead of canceling Doja Cat, why don't we show her how to love herself? And I think, like, for that, I was like, one, you're probably saying that because she shares the same racial makeup as you, and you're more like Logic Black than you are J. Cole Black in terms of being biracial. I'm just saying.
Oh shit!
Like, there's like Mariah Carey Black, and then there's like Halle Berry Black, like,
Shut up. Logic Black.
But that's the part that be killing me, because I'm just like, somebody like Ebro has a huge platform, and he's a name in hip hop. And so for him to even try to absolve her of this, it's just like, no, like, still call her on her shit. And then the rest of the time you can lead with love. But as of right now, she has to address her shit first before we can even give her some type of pass to just go by. And I'm just like, man,
why do they always get the pass? Like, at this big age, at this big age, we gotta sit here and be like, you know what you said, what you was doing was wrong. No, we can't. That's what we do when like they murder people, like the one boy that, like the one boy that shot up the church. Like, why are we giving these, like, why are we doing all this stuff when we just get shot and killed on the street? And they want to, like, the whole boy that got shot, killed recently, they want to create him into, like, some murderous person. Like, he's the worst person on the planet. Like, he deserved what he got. But as soon as these people, oh, God, Lord, stop it.
And I think that's, and that's the thing that someone had mentioned on Twitter. It's like, I was like, well, I appreciate how quickly, and not for nothing, I feel like this movement is being led by, a lot of Black women at this point. And I was saying, like, how happy I am that they're getting her out with a quickness. And people were like, oh, well, she should have been canceled a long time ago. And I wanted to ask Marquise, because you had brought up, like, how does cancel culture work? Like, is there, and what kind of, like, something I was wondering about is, like, like, do we as a community, say, like, this person's not past the point of, like, no return? Because I think there was an article that came up, and it was saying, like, how she got indoctrinated.
Yeah.
Like, she would go on these chats, like, at a very young age. She said, and I think it was an article for I want to say Rolling Stone, and she was just saying, like, she would skip school to go to these, like, chat rooms, and this is where she would, like, meet these people, and she even called it, like, a religious type of experience for her.
That genre is, like, a little cultish. Like, that's essentially what that shit sounds to me. Like, and that's the thing, because it's like, yes, is her actions probably rooted in some type of trauma, and rooted in also, like, the fact that most people are trying to justify her being raised by a white woman. Was her mom a racist? Like, that's am I, like,
go to therapy, bitch.
Like,
yeah, I
you got money. We don't condone calling women bitches, but
true.
Therapy.
Sometimes you gotta
call
bitches because that's what they are.
I'm just saying, like, no. And I was gonna put that. I was like, child, because she got a lot. Like, there is so much there that someone needs to, like, get out. And that's what I was thinking. Like, does a team, like her team, what do they do in this case?
I don't think PR people are, like, even existing anymore. Like, I'm so confused, because none of these niggas are media trained anymore. Like, they don't.
Yo, that's
Chloe
a
and
fact.
Chloe and Halyar.
But you see who the person is. Okay.
Let's
All
Here
right.
we go. Here we go.
I'm just saying, the stand had to pop out a little bit, because
Here
Chloe
we
and Halle
go.
and Tiana Taylor are coming with new music in June, and I am ready.
Gosh,
But
I love it. It's just, yeah. Oof. Doja is a whole lot, and it's just, like, it sucks because you make, like, great music, and I think that it's like, you can't say that she hasn't earned her success. Even though she is racially ambiguous, she had to work. Like, we've seen her, working on beats, and, like, musically, she's a genius. So it's like upsetting, because it's like all that hard work and talent.
We were rooting for you.
Exactly. Was that Tyra Banks?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and it's like, we were rooting for you, and it's just, and that's really something that's, like, time and time again. And as a fan of music, I literally am exhausted, because I'd be like, how the fuck, like, damn, you don't even know, like, when someone comes out, like, let me just do my research real quick, because you never know, and you can't even go up for these artists anymore, because they make you look stupid. And really, I feel like the age of celebrity is just gone out the window.
Oh,
which
that genre is dying.
I like the transparency. I like to know where I'm putting my coins at. It's just sad that, like, these are the people that we keep getting. I won't name all of the people, but there's a list of artists that have gone out real sad.
Like, there, and like, honestly, there's some things, like, I'll forgive. Like, we listen to plenty of artists who say we shot some people. Like, I still listen to Jay-Z. Like,
Yeah. We listen to murder music. Like, Bobby Shmurda, that was a whole confession. Like, that shit was popping. Like,
so it all, like, depends. Are you like R. Kelly music? I can be without that. Now, is it like shooting a nigga 1 or 2 times?
1 or 2 times, like, it making it different. You're a killer still, motherfucker. Like,
I feel like you definitely have like, as a consumer, we now have, like, more than ever, we have a choice of who we support. So,
right, that's true.
I don't know. I feel like the whole remix though, like, and then her being that way was like a whole slap in the face to Nicki Minaj. You just remixed Nicki Minaj, and then you over here being racist as fuck. Like,
Yeah, no, that's
like a slap in the face. Take my song. Get me off this song before I sue you.
And what's crazy is like people are like, well, I'm just playing their music, and then when we talk about like where your coins go, I don't think people realize like every time you press play on that song, they get money. Like,
Regardless.
and I've seen, and even the 3 songs that I have that don't get that many plays, I've seen money from it.
Yeah.
And it makes me just imagine how many times her songs get played, how much money has been I couldn't even imagine how much money has been put into her pockets. Like, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So while we're still talking about throwing away black people and black women in particular, let's talk about Joe Biden's dumbass.
Oh my god.
Men are bitches as well.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, no,
that's a fact. That's a fact.
That's a bitch right there.
Mm-hmm.
So Joe Biden, he's telling us who's black and who's not black. How do y'all feel about this?
I mean, if my man Joe said you gotta go, then you gotta go. Like, you just Joe.
Now, is there
Joe
validity to what he said? Or just that he said it?
He doesn't have the credibility. I'm gonna just put it like that. You don't got the credibility.
He was out here acting like he was Obama, and Obama was the VP.
Like, yeah, like if you're, what do you say? If you're undecided between me and Trump, then you ain't black.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I hate how comfortable white people are with telling black people about our blackness. Like, for real, I be like, and this is something like people are like, I can't believe Joe Biden said that. But my niggas say that all the time. Like, white people say that shit all the time to black people all the time. Like, the whole, I'm blacker than you type shit. Like, so the fact that, and it is something that I feel like, and I want this, I love our white listeners, but we need an all black meeting, because we need to get together and really like get it together, because it's to me, it's just outlandish. Like, I can't, Marquise.
Oh, I think it is truly the ghetto. Anybody else got comments on that? Because I was just like, I'm kind of over him. Like, I'm gonna still vote for him because I did read through some of his plan to empower the black community. So I do recommend for people to read it. God damn, I cannot speak today. But really just talking about economic mobility, and put an end to racial wealth and income gaps, but also expanding black people's access to credit and capital, as well as improving and expanding small business administration programs, and increasing high quality education by ending funding gaps between majority white and majority non-white schools by tripling the Title I funding. But again, so these are some things I think should be talked about, because those are things that I wish Charlemagne would have like pressed him a little bit more about during that meeting. But Charlemagne just really does not like Joe Biden at the fuck call. So, but
Yeah.
I also didn't like Joe Biden's like smugness that he had. Like, I felt like, when a white person gets too comfortable with black people, that was that secondhand embarrassment that I got listening to him. I was just like,
you were embarrassed
like,
by the people around him.
Why are you this loud on black media outlets? Like, you get on a black media outlet and you act out of pocket.
It's just how, that's the whole, Hillary, I got hot sauce in my bag. It's called pandering. And that's what they're doing. They're literally and that's the thing. It's just like, as long as we have this culture, and it's the culture, they don't have to pay attention to actual politics, or have to like actually sit there and have a grown-up conversation. And that's just like the shit that I can't get down with. It's just like, that is what, pisses me off, because, that's a time to really gather the people who weren't on your side, you know what I mean, of black people. And he really said, well, y'all niggas gonna vote for me anyways. And I'm just like,
I'm telling you, white people need to be stopped. Like, when it comes to politics, like, they really think that they can say something that pertains to the black community or the black culture, and then we'll vote for them. And this is why, going back to, Mrs. Miss, started from the bottom. that's why that bothered me so much, because I'm like,
It took me a while. I'm like, who's she talking about? But yo, she did say that bullshit that she started. Oh, I forgot about that.
trying to compare.
She
to,
did.
like,
She
when it
she
comes to
did that. She did that like when a white person makes a joke that they think black people are gonna like go along with, and they look around like, no, we're not gonna laugh at that shit. Like, no, like fuck out of here.
white people need to be stopped when it comes to politics and trying to relate to black people. Just be yourself. Like, don't sit there and
Right.
try to like compare, or even like, oh yeah, I was in there too. I was out here thugging and whipping.
Was
and
you really?
Like, no.
Yeah.
Like,
Was you really like, nah, yeah. That's the worst part about it. Like when they really force, like they try to conform to our culture to fit in. And it just
wanna
becomes
be
uncomfortable. Like
down.
Hunter, sit down. Like you got your culture, I got mine. Like just be cool. You know what I mean? Be
Right.
cool, be aware, hold people
Like,
accountable.
I just want to
Yeah.
know, like, how are they picking the culture? Like, I want to know, like, is he going to like Asian people? Are you saying like if you don't vote for me, then you're not Asian? Like, you know, and it's just like we as black people are constantly getting the crumbs. Like, all you had to do was show up, and you couldn't even like you were just supposed to be there, say a couple of decent words, reiterate the same thing that Marquise basically just said for you, and you couldn't even do that because you had to slap skins
And the thing
and
is,
be a
he didn't even put an effort into his fucking campaign. Like, let's be clear, he didn't have to attend any rallies or do anything. He literally just got off of the fact that there was a vast majority of black people that did vote for him, right?
Mhm.
But it's not like he's actually going to these places. Like, he did not put an effort into his campaigning. Like, if that's not white privilege in a nutshell, I don't know what is. And I also, this is my other rant, because these niggas keep saying he needs to put a black woman as a VP in order to like do some stuff. But I'm also like, do we actually really think that black women have to like serve under this nigga? Because
I don't think it's about serving. I honestly think when people say they need a black woman to help, it's more about like the black woman is going to do everything that Joe Biden says he's going to do, but not really do it. So she's like, oh, I'm doing, because black women got to save everybody. So the black woman is going to be saving Joe Biden when it comes to like keeping him accountable to what he was saying for like the black community. If you really
yeah, I'm with Marie on that part. Like, that's a goal. It's just like, you know, Trump's not giving us, you know, a black VP, you know? So it's just like, it's kind of like better the devil you know than the devil you don't. And it's just like, for me as a black woman, I'll be voting for Joe Biden. I was about to say Joe Biden. Lord Jesus.
Every time I read it, I fuck up their names. I'm not even gonna hold. I said Joe Biden did what?
Biden, Joe. So I'm gonna vote for him, but it's just like, you know, this is kind of where the third party system comes into play. It's just like you know, I remember, you know, people talking about like Marcus Garvey, you know, and Malcolm X's birthday was just last week, and it's like we kind of have to revisit their politics because it feels like, you know, people are just kind of dealing with the status quo. And to be honest, I
don't know. People in politics been acting up lately.
Honestly and truly.
Trump trying to make a whole new HBCU. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah. He just wants to be, he's like, you know, and that's the crazy part. I feel like Biden has made it, Trump was already outlandish, but now he's like, oh, well, wait, did you see the You Ain't Black t-shirts that are selling on Donald Trump's website?
Yes.
No way. I didn't see that.
A fucking joke. This nigga got t-shirts that say #You Ain't Black. And I'm just like,
I hate him. He's
on his website?
On his
personal?
website.
On his website.
You could buy it in black, white. It's on his long sleeve, short sleeve. And that's why I'm just like,
He got flavors.
Yeah.
This motherfucker.
This nigga's faster than Teddy Riley.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Listen. Oh my God. Oh Jesus. And everything is going to hell in a handbasket. And I cannot, because it's just like, yo, I feel like nobody takes black people serious, especially in politics. And it's just like, we gotta shake some shit up. Like,
Oh, that's a fact.
Until we start walking around like the Black Panthers did, they ain't gonna take us serious.
Look,
That's a fact.
I'm sitting here in front of 3 different Malcolm X books. Like, I'm ready. So I am ready. I am ready for this revolution post-Rona because we're seeing all the bullshit happen anyways. So once niggas start realizing these people don't give a fuck about us, some of these stars don't give a fuck about us, the people next door to us don't give a fuck about us because these niggas are loud upstairs. Okay?
You really mad?
I am, because I hear them over my headphones.
My neighbor was just playing 6ix9ine too. Like,
Oh, why do they want to play with rats?
You know what?
My neighbors are quiet. I'm so happy. They don't really do much. I don't hear them ever.
Other than that, we'll talk about Avatar next week, so we can properly argue this out because
okay. If you want to do it to yourself.
Look, other than that, I don't know how much we really care to talk about Ayesha Curry. I think she's just here again.
I feel like people are always coming for her.
They really are.
I didn't think it was that deep. Like, she wanted to post a bathing suit picture. Fuck it. Like fuck it.
She looks good. That's
like,
right.
fuck it. Like, but people were saying like, what was it, 2015 or whatever the date was when she was saying like, I wouldn't be showing all that skin if it wasn't like, it's only for my husband, blah, 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 blah. And now that she's doing it, people are saying that it was because she was insecure. And now that she has the body, I guess, that she wanted, now she's showing it off. And I'm like, it's okay to change your mindset. And that's why people are always stuck, because they feel like they have to keep the same mindset that they did 5 years ago, even when they're presented with new information. You know, those people who are just like, their initial comment is completely wrong. And then when more proof comes out, it's like, nah, I'm gonna ignore that. I'm gonna just stay wrong. That's kind of how I feel about it. Like, people can change their opinions. People can change their mindsets. You're supposed to grow.
They were even coming at her with like, so there's that. But I feel like, I don't know. I don't feel like it's that deep. Like, it was never like we got to sit here and bash Ayesha Curry because 1, she wants to either keep something for her husband, or 2, she wants to show her body. Like, there's people doing a lot worse, and we're over here worried about what the fuck she's doing,
right,
and what she wants to show. Like, nobody cares.
That's a fact. This is just going to show like niggas have too much time on their hand nowadays.
Mm-hmm. It was funny. It was funny, the memes when they first came out, like, but now it's kind of like, now y'all just dragging it.
Yeah, I've been actually like, I had to take like a little mental cleanse from Twitter because I was just like, it was just too much information I really didn't give a shit about. Like, there was a lot of like just pop culture stuff where I was just like, is this what y'all niggas are like worried about right now? I mean, I guess like you ain't got nothing else to be worried.
Right, yeah.
In theory, you don't have that much else to be worried about, but like other things are like really still happening out here. Like,
I felt like that since French said talk shit about Kendrick. I was like, you know what? Social media's a damn board.
You know, they just give anybody. They just say anything now. Like,
just say anything nowadays.
Over it.
He still has more hits. I'm just saying.
You know what, Bree? You are very, very toxic. We just have to talk about that one time.
You do give me very French vibes.
I was reading a text. You know? What did she say?
She said had more hits than Kendrick.
You want to kick her out real quick?
Yeah, I mean, I can kick people out. Like, you can go free.
I feel like y'all are being very negative. That you can't just say I'm gonna kick you out. Like, that's not how that goes.
But like, Bree, I feel like that comment was like Doja Cat, like Anti-Blackness.
You didn't ask me. You didn't say why. You didn't say how did you come to this conclusion. All you did.
You shouldn't have. That's the reason.
That's the thing.
I stand on my unpopular opinion. If you don't like my unpopular opinion, then that's fine. But that's why it's
what was that term? What was that term we used to use for people?
We can't do that when
wrong and strong.
I want y'all to know, Bree's views do not reflect the views of Dear Redding, the podcast.
Not at all.
We just need people to know that. Bree, we can only name about one of his hits, and it's unforgettable. The rest of his stuff is very forgettable. But we can name a lot of Kendrick's hits.
Like, no, didn't even get nominated for a Grammy. I don't think. Like,
Macklemore has proven that.
Don't you talk about Macklemore?
Like Joe Biden. You should have just sat there and ate food.
Bree, I don't know what we did.
Did she just say Macklemore?
I'm just saying Macklemore won a Grammy over Kendrick. So do we really want to go with the Grammy?
Yeah, yes, we do. Because you acted like Joe Biden. You should have just sat there.
You know,
I'm just saying
talk
that
about
if you're
Rona
not
brain,
voting
but
for
this
me,
sounds
then
like
you're not
Doja
black.
brain to me. Like
You need some sunlight. This corona got you all fucked up in the head. You need
just
some
a little
sunlight.
bit. I'm sure.
You know what?
Reading right
I've
now.
been taking my vitamins. I am over here minding my business. All right. If you guys, again, whatever, it's fine. There's always one. I'll be the black sheep.
You're on your own. You ain't even black. You're the white sheep.
You're the white one in this, Lil Bo Peep. Like, you're not the black sheep. Get the fuck out of here.
Wow. All right. Don't we have an interview?
Goldilocks right now.
There's a snake in my boot.
Wow. But you know what? I'm fine. I'm fine. It's okay.
I'm crying, Bree.
You can talk your shit, but at the end of the day, I stand where I stand, and that's okay. And I don't need you, and you. I saw black women were supposed to stick together, but regardless.
Out here acting like Joe Biden. You're not doing that.
Wow, how you gonna compare me to the white man, sis?
Because you acting like
creeping in the back.
Marquise, now I know you not. So look, Amanda's gonna come and whoop that ass. You better stop. She just came in your room. You better knock that off.
I'm fucking crying right now.
Amanda, how do my light work?
She can't hear you. I got headphones on.
Oh.
It's Spicy Sprite walking.
We just please, let's
Spicy
just
Sprite
interview
did
the
walk
next
in.
person.
Spicy Sprite.
And we're walking. Remember that? How comes we always stop when it's time to roast Bree? Okay, I'm gonna remember this.
Who said we?
Bree,
didn't she just say we have an interview?
Where's our interview at?
All right. Didn't you send him the link?
No, I told him. I thought you were.
Bree, I thought you would have made contact.
You always send the link. I didn't send the link to Manny.
I don't know this guy.
He's look at the dear writing message.
Oh my God.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. It's okay. It's okay. Once again, black women have to do everything.
That was your job.
Who said we never talked about jobs? Never. I just want you to know that. We never talked about jobs. Marquise, okay, you set a schedule and I filed. Wait. Okay, hold on.
This has to be the funniest fucking episode. I can't wait.
You're not gonna doja. Y'all not gonna doja me. Stop it. I don't deserve the hate.
I'm actually crying.
Wait,
Did you send him the link?
I did. I'm waiting for his response.
He might not have one. He probably thinks we forgot about him.
Why would he think we forgot him? Gosh, hold on.
Oh,
all right. Hurry up, guys. Come up with something.
I'm cracking up. So, to wrap up this entire Word on the Street segment, obviously what we talked about today was a lot of anti-blackness. So, we have Doja Cat, who internalized her anti-blackness. We have bum-ass Biden, who decided to tell us what black is and what black isn't. We also had Lana Del Rey throwing black women under the bus, so he really don't give a fuck. Joe Biden's base is also black women, let's be very clear. And then we also got people policing Ayesha Curry and her body. So guess what this week is? Another theme of anti-blackness, but more in particular, it's apparently let's fuck black women. And I don't mean it in a way that's pleasurable. So that's apparently the week that we're having. And it's been absolutely garbanzo beans. So, I mean trash, because Amanda doesn't like when I talk shit on garbanzo beans. So, so that's the week that we're having.
Watch Becoming on Netflix. It is very inspiring.
Becoming. What's it about?
Michelle.
Oh, it's
her.
Yes.
Okay.
You gotta watch it, guys. It's very.
I love it. It was good. I cried when I first saw her walking the screen. I was just like, wow.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Michelle Obama is just like everything and then some. And it's just like, why couldn't I have her for a president? Like, white people really hate black. Like, oh, sorry. Like, I was thinking about this the one day. I was just like, yo, I really could have had Michelle Obama as my president if these motherfuckers weren't racist. And it just hurts my soul.
Can we also acknowledge the fact that there was also another attack on a black person, a black woman earlier this week? Since we got a little bit of time.
Yeah, sure.
DayQuan, I am talking to you. and the way that you call Katara Squirtle. Okay.
Shut the fuck up, man. Shut the fuck up. I'm like, who? Like, come on. You try to say she was more important. She was the most important character in the show. Like,
I didn't say she was the most important. I said she exemplified a lot of fucking growth.
that's not what the fuck you said.
She said she showed the most growth.
And which is fucking false. It's false. No, she doesn't. How? Since we got time.
Since we got a little bit of time, don't worry.
How does she have more growth than Zuko? How?
Okay, just because Zuko was on the bad side, had some daddy issues, and then came over to Team Avatar by the end of it, okay, that don't mean shit. Now, someone who was resolute, somebody who was stuck in her foundation as a caring person and knew the potential that she had, but still had to deal with the fact that her mother died right in front of her. She had to take
had daddy issues too.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Daddy issues. Yeah.
Go
ahead. No. We can check them off.
She had to take care of her brother.
Mm-hmm. But she was still selfish about it.
She had to take care of both of them when the family didn't know what to do. You know what Sokka said? He can't even remember what his mom looks like because Katara had to take the place.
Y'all are some nerds. Y'all are really having this conversation?
She's a selfish individual. She's very selfish. She's very selfish. She's very selfish. She is.
She was always in the best interest of the group.
She is. No, it wasn't. Thank you for saying that, because when she met a nigga she wanted to get her cheeks clapped by, that's all that mattered. Because when she met Jet and people were telling her, he's a bad nigga. He's a bad nigga. Her brother, like, yo, you don't want to do that. And she's like, no, I want him, you know. What happened? He was a quote-unquote freedom fighter, and he wanted to blow the fucking town up. When Zuko, when they were trapped in a cave, and he was telling her the sob story and shit, right? And then she wanted to be with Zuko. Like, she's kind of easy. She's kind of easy too. Now I think about it, don't
you dare! Sokka had 3 different girls.
He had one fucking conversation with her about losing his mom, and she was open. All right, she was open. I'm not done. And then she was open, about to bust it open for a firebender nigga.
Don't talk about the fire like that. She is also.
And then when he comes back and he actually does that whole flip where he actually wants to be nice, and Aang doesn't have a firebender to teach him, like, there's nobody else. Who else besides his uncle, Iroh? Those are the only 2 firebenders that could have possibly taught Aang. And then she's like, well, no, I don't trust him. And Toph's like, you know, like...
You're completely dismissing the fact that Zuko definitely betrayed Katara when they was in the caves?
Ooh, after she did one conversation, after she
did all that help?
Come on, one conversation.
You're being disrespectful.
One conversation.
Not just one conversation.
The show isn't fucking Katara, the last waterbender of the southern tribe. No, that's not what the show is about. This is the last airbender, right?
Okay,
who is
that doesn't
Aang.
matter.
This is about Aang, the savior. He's the savior of the world.
Okay,
the savior of the world. And let's be honest. And thank you for saying that too. Let's get this box checked off. The only time Katara ever had to save him is after he got hurt from trying to protect her.
Wow. D-Well, I feel like you need
I'm with the receipts. I'm with the receipts.
And I think that you need to, like, back up a little bit.
I come with the receipts.
A little bit. Your blood pressure's getting high.
I come with the receipts.
Shut the fuck up.
Did you watch the show? Yeah. Did you watch the show? No, get out of here. Kick her out. Anyways, back to my rant. So the only time she had to save Aang with her magical healing abilities is when he got hurt by Azula, and he was trying to protect her. Oh yeah, and that brings me back to my other point that happened before that. The only reason why he didn't reach the Avatar state earlier is because of his attachment to Katara, and she was actually trapped. She was trapped though, was she not trapped?
Okay, that's still.
And he meditated on it, and he found out.
I'm so lost.
Yeah, it is his problem. It is his problem. It is his problem. This is why I tell my niggas, don't throw on a cape. Don't throw on a cape.
First of all, yeah.
You tell me I'm Captain Saberho? I'll fight you.
That's why
I'm saying you over here talking about Squirtle.
Don't call it Squirtle. Don't call it Squirtle.
And this show, the last Airbender, she's alright. I give her like a solid 7 out of 10. We're only talking about the Avatar: The Last Airbender. We're only talking about this
You
series,
said
correct?
she's only a 7 out of 10?
I give her a 7 out of 10. She could have been more. And you know what? If she would have just bloodbended, the whole thing would have ended
No, okay,
very,
y'all keep using that
very,
excuse that she should have been a
very.
bloodbender. Okay,
Should have.
y'all are
She
trash
should have.
for that.
She
Y'all are
should have.
trash for using
She
the
should have.
bloodbender
She
excuse.
should have.
No, because the same
She
way
wanted
that
to become an
Aang's ass
octopus.
didn't want to.
She wanted to be an octopus.
That
Got my
was
nigga
before
Aang
she
shot
learned
in
how
the
to be a
back.
bloodbender.
She
That
got
was
my
before.
she got
You're
my
chronologically
nigga
out of
she
order.
got my
But
nigga
now you're
Aang
arguing
shot in the
yourself.
back.
See, and
She
now
got my
my
nigga Aang shot in the back.
see now my jaw froze because of your
Because you're
bullshit.
talking that nonsense.
No, because now I got some
Talking that
Teddy Riley
nonsense.
fucking
Yep.
shit happening.
Thank you. We ain't want to see that bullshit anyway. Let's just keep him there.
I'm tired of the disrespect.
Had the nerve to say some. Why you're disrespectful.
And now I'm back. Okay. I'm sick and tired of that ass trying to talk like that. All right.
Crazy. I can't believe it. Say fucking Katara had a better growth.
She did because it was more
she didn't.
internal.
No, she
Her
didn't.
growth was much
We
more
just
internal.
saw her story more in depth. But
we always see Zuko. Okay, everybody talks about Zuko, but we tend to overlook Katara because she was already pretty much resolute in who she was as a, I'm not done because you're taking your lips to talk. Okay.
I ain't your kid. Put your finger down, bitch. First of all.
So Katara had to unpack mad trauma. She had to work through. Shut up. We know all characters had to unpack their own shit. Okay.
I wasn't even gonna say that, but go ahead, because you're exposing yourself, sir.
Done.
You're exposing yourself.
I'm not done.
Go ahead. I didn't say nothing. I'm just making this. I'm making faces at your bullshit ass fucking comments. But
So,
continue,
either
sir.
way, let's get back to this. Okay, she had to face her mother's killer. Okay, and didn't even murk him like she should have murked him. Then on top of that, she also had to deal with the fucking trauma of betrayal multiple times. And then she had to work through her savior complex that she has, a la the spirit, the painted lady, okay, where she still has this bad incessant need to try to help every single person. Either way, so she had to work through that shit. She had so much throughout the seasons where she had to deal with feelings of inadequacy, okay, because Aang's bum ass was getting water bending before she was. The water bending master did not want to teach her. She didn't want to do shit with her. So let's be clear. Throughout the entire season, for the amount of times that Katara was shit on, she made sure that these niggas was okay. The amount of times Katara was shit on, she still manages to be the strongest fucking bender out of all them bitches. See, Amanda even knows.
Spicy Sprite, this doesn't involve you.
Oh, this is Spicy Sprite. This does not involve you. Do you want to?
Good day, ma'am. Anyways, so everything that you just said, Marquise, almost everything that you just said.
You heard what she said?
I'm not worried about it.
If you hate Katara, just say you hate women and go.
What?
Okay, that's all you need to do.
I was literally just about to defend Toph.
Toph isn't entitled. She's a brat.
So? Katara's not?
Like you.
Katara's not?
Katara's not a brat compared to Toph.
Okay. Oh, compared to Toph. But is Katara a brat? Yes
No,
or no?
she's just
be honest.
a little
okay,
naggy.
You said no. Okay, you said no. We're going to move on from there. But everything you listed, except for the fact that guy, the waterbender, didn't want to teach her, was shit that she put on herself. She had to get over this feeling. She had to get over this feeling. You feel the way you feel. She felt inadequate when Aang learned waterbend. And he's the fucking avatar. And she was jealous, was she not?
Okay, that doesn't matter.
Oh, you sound like a little kid. But that doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm getting to you. Like, no, she didn't have the most growth. And the crazy thing is,
Katara did show some of the most growth in that show.
Some of the most growth. That's what I'm saying. Just because I'm saying Zuko had more doesn't mean that I'm saying that Katara didn't have any growth. That's what you're missing, sir. She might have been like, number 2 or 3, maybe.
I feel like
maybe like
no, because we're not gonna sit here and give all the credit and the flowers to someone who should have been doing the right thing from the get. Zuko had growth, but we can't sit here and applaud and give all the gold stars to a nigga.
We're not. We're just giving them most of them. Just giving them most.
I don't even want to hear that.
I'm just saying. It's kind of. She got to come closer. I can't make out what she said.
He has grown so much since he was a boy.
don't know what you're saying. It's just like
Said
echoing.
Zuko should have been doing good from the get. He does the bare minimum, and we want to give him flowers.
We applaud you, for doing you
God. There we go.
We asked this nigga just not to kill people. We asked him not to kill people.
So,
And colonize
with
other
my
colonies.
question,
Does it
I got a
not belong
question.
to you?
I got a question.
Okay.
So, if another waterbender discovered Aang, right, in the same manner, do you think that his story would have been any different?
It depends.
More positive? It depends. More positive or more negative?
Would it be two men discovering Aang?
Whatever you want to paint that scenario as, if another person would have discovered Aang, who could waterbend and teach him waterbending, what his story would have been?
Because he got stuck in the Southern Water Tribe, and Katara was the last waterbender in the Southern Water Tribe.
Right, which is why it's a hypothetical. If another waterbender would have discovered Aang, the fuck we're talking about a cartoon, it's all hypothetical. If another waterbender would have discovered Aang, would he have as much trouble reaching his enlightenment or the avatar state?
No, because they would have brought him back to the Southern Water Tribe, and Katara still would have known she was the last waterbender.
Hate you niggas. See, this is why niggas. This is what I be talking about. This is what I be talking about. I'm a box, y'all. Like I said, Zuko had more growth. Not saying Katara didn't have a lot of growth, but that's my story. And let's be real, Toph is way stronger than Katara.
Toph could barely take Azula. Now, if Katara did not get jumped, she would have murked Azula.
No, she wouldn't have.
Yes, she would have.
No, she wouldn't have. Because no, you're not stopping Azula unless you kill the hoe. So.
Nah, I don't. No, I think Katara would murk Azula before Toph would.
I don't know. Because Toph is ruthless. This might be a debate
for the timeline.
Toph is ruthless. Toph is ruthless. Katara's a little bit too sweet. She's a little too sweet in the heart. And to kill something, she would have to kill Azula. I don't think she would be able to do it. But let's not forget. Let's
agree with him. Because Toph is also younger, is she not, than Katara?
Yeah, she's like a year younger.
Okay, so we also have to. She just seems younger to me, like the way.
A lot younger.
Yeah.
I feel. So
I'm taking that into consideration. So I don't know about what Marquise said.
Right?
I don't know what Marquise said. This is really blind. Like she's blind.
That's what I'm saying, and she's still be
really
rocking
trashing a lot of the people in terms of like
groups. I mean, she was beating groups up. When they try to jump her at the tournament, that tournament spot in the ring, she said, "Nah, move out the way, niggas. I got this."
Look, fuck with Katara on a full moon. She's fucking y'all up.
On a full moon? Is she eating sensu
on a
beans
regular
now?
basis,
Like,
she's fucking y'all up.
Who, me? I mean,
Katara.
Come on, I'm Sokka. Like, what the fuck? You say she's fucking y'all up. Like, the fuck am I supposed to do? You said she's fucking y'all up. So
it's like, I can resonate with Sokka.
You gonna argue with me? Like, she could beat my ass. Like, come on now. But let's not forget, a lot of this hostility is from conversations that you were texting. You're gonna say that she was more important than Aang. Like, come on now. In the voice note.
Okay, your point?
You sound dumb, sir.
You sound dusty and raggedy. Shut up, sir.
You sound dumb. I'm gonna say she's more important than Aang. She's literally like the equivalent of fucking Sakura from Naruto.
Stop! Don't disrespect Katara like that.
She's strong, but in the show, she wasn't that important, and she's the reason why niggas got in a lot of trouble.
No! Oh, don't get the fuck out of here. Bree, what you gotta say?
Well, first of all, I just want to let you know my phone died. So...
Bree, is your finger over the speaker?
Huh?
You sound like you're underwater.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Not really.
Can you hear me?
Not really. A little bit.
Sorry, I got comfortable. I put on Netflix. But basically what I was trying to let you know is that he's not responding. So you guys can wrap this up if you want to.
Okay.
Ooh,
Thanks,
Sounds like a plan then.
Aang's still the GOAT.
Katara's better. So what we're gonna get into right now is the Dear Reading segment. So Dear Reading segment is where we have an open love letter to the city of Reading on anything that we discussed throughout this episode.
You suckers. You gonna do this to me? You gonna do this to me?
Did it, okay? Anybody want to start?
Dear Reading, Aang is the GOAT. Do your research. And I'm going to end it on that. Because you got me a little hot.
Dear Reading, love thy neighbor, because D. Will is constantly disrespecting Katara, and he can get that ass beat real quick.
You know what?
I'm so befuddled.
I'm going to have to talk to Spicy Sprite. I'm sorry, Bree. Hold on. I'm going to have to talk to Spicy Sprite next time I see her. I think she's going to fucking say if it was another man that this guy, like, nah, she got to box me on that note. Like, she'll have to box me.
So you just stole my line, nigga. How you? Fine.
Girl, it's not your line. Ain't it from the Bible?
I say that every time. Me.
And we're gonna have a Dear Reading Love Thy Neighbor shirt in the merch when we get some.
Okay. Dear Reading, who says love thy neighbor? Bree. You know what? It's all right. It's all right. All right. I don't have to deal with this. Okay? Because my mama told me I don't have to deal with shit like this. And all right, well, Dear Reading, you know, times like this really, you know, show you who you are and what your character is made out of. So, you know, if you've been finding yourself becoming more resilient, more power to you. If you feel like, you know, you've been struggling a little bit, understand that these are murky waters that we're in and that everybody else is also struggling too. So you're not alone. Love thy neighbor.
Particularly Black women.
Especially Black women. Because we need it the most.
Yes. Dear Reading, make sure you hold these white politicians accountable because they are rapid. I'm hot. That's all I got.
I am here for it. And thank you again for joining us for another episode of Dear Reading. I hope y'all just enjoyed this episode because there's just a lot of fuckery happening. Not the Avatar conversation. That was actually a very fun conversation. But all the fuckery before that conversation was ghetto. So, other than that, I hope y'all all enjoyed this listen. Let us know how you feel. Do you think Katara or Toph could have taken on Azula, and which one do you think would have did it better? That's really what we need to know about. We do hope we see y'all next week for another episode. Have a great one. Signing off. Nice to see everybody's faces. I miss you all dearly.
Marquise is a bitch.
You still a bitch. How you gonna try and do that? I know your ass is. I knew he was gonna do it. He gonna say I'm a bitch and then sign out. He's a bum.
Bye, bitches.
You know what?
See ya.
I had enough.
I'm tired.